Trump has been banned off of Twitter, and if they can ban Trump, the sitting president of the United States, then what can they do to you? I'm Matt with the Conservative Reacts. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button and follow me on social media. Let's start talking about it. So, like I said, Twitter has banned Donald Trump immediately, permanently. This is after they initially gave him a 12-hour ban because they said he was inciting violence. Now, if you follow this at all, I'm sure you recognize that he did nothing of the sort of inciting violence. He's only been saying the stuff that he's been saying, which is that, the election, stuff like that, and conservatives not being listened to, that they're trying to steal the election, and all of that. Of course, these types of things, they're definitely playing to the conservatives and to the conservative base, which obviously he would be. He is a Republican president. But none of these things have anything to do with inciting violence. Now, they are trying to blame everything that happened at the Capitol, the attack there. They're trying to blame that on Trump. Trump immediately came out with a video that he posted on his Twitter account saying that the violence is horrible. I don't support the violence. We need peace in this time, all that. They instantly banned that video. And now they're saying he incited violence. Let's go ahead and look at why they're saying he did this and why they banned him. Here's some tweets that they're showing from his account. The 75 million great American patriots who voted for me. America first. Make America great again. Will have a great voice long into the future. They will not be disrespected or treated unfairly in any way, shape, or form. Right here, this tweet from President Trump. I don't see anything in there talking about attacking the Capitol or being violent or anything. All it's saying is that the people who voted, he's basically thanking the people who voted for him and saying that, just because Joe Biden is going to be the next president doesn't mean that your voice is not going to be heard. Like, he's still going to fight for you. I don't know how you get violence out of that. Shortly after, they say he tweeted, "To all those who I have asked, I will not be going to the inauguration." That's not really a surprise to me. It's been so contentious, this race, and obviously with Trump talking about fraud and everything like that, it's no surprise that he wouldn't be going to the inauguration. And he's not the first president to do that. It's happened, I believe, 5 times in the past. So it's not even, it's kind of uncommon, but shouldn't be that big of a surprise. But essentially, their assessment of this is saying that people have taken they're almost saying people have taken his words out of context, using them to mean violence. So they're banning him because of that. I'm sure we can all know that not everything we've ever said in our lives have been taken the correct way, but to blame somebody because someone took their words out of context. Somewhere he says the use of the words American patriots to describe some of its supporters is being interpreted as support for committing violent acts. How is American patriots that doesn't make any sense. If you're talking about America patriots, you're talking about people that love America, that want the country to succeed. Often talking about maybe people that have been in the military and have served to keep our country safe from outside attacks and stuff like this. So somehow they're changing the meaning of the word patriot and making that mean violent attacks. When has that ever meant that? Of course, this summer we've seen tons of violent attacks against different Capitol buildings all over the country, against police stations being burned. We saw courthouses being attacked, stuff like that. Never any repercussions on these social media sites from that. And now we have Twitter, who wants to ban Donald, well, not even wants to, did ban Donald Trump based on his words being taken out of context when they mean nothing even close to inciting violence is absolutely insane. Of course, I think we know why they're doing this. They hate Donald Trump. Now that the election has been certified and Joe Biden will be the president here later in January, they have just decided to ban him. And I think this just shows they would have banned him a long time ago, except for he was the president. And it's not a good look. The thing is, he still is the president right now, and they still banned him. So not really a great look for Twitter, I would say. And also, it's kind of a scary situation now, because if these big tech companies are willing and able to censor the president of the United States, Twitter is an American company. They operate worldwide, but they are an American company. At what point are these companies allowed to supersede? I mean, it's kind of crazy that they just can ban a president. And I mean, maybe you could say if he actually was inciting violence, if he had tweets up there saying, attack the Democrats or something insane like that, maybe you could kind of go for it. But the fact that nothing he said incites violence in any way, like, I don't even see how somebody who's like deranged could take that to mean violence. Doesn't really make sense to me. This is obviously a abuse of power by Twitter, and not really a surprise. These big tech companies, we've been talking about this for a while. Donald Trump has been fighting against them, trying to remove their sort of extra benefits they get. Right now, they are treated basically as a publisher, but in and of themselves, they allow crazy amounts of stuff. I mean, they are basically banning whoever they want. They've been doing this for a while, but they're not responsible for what they put out. They're not being treated in the correct manner, and we do see that throughout. I mean, the banning of Trump for one, but there's some pretty terrible people on Twitter. There's been tons of Democrats over the last couple months saying we want blood and stuff like that. And, even if they're joking about it, how is that not a more violent speech? And, those people don't even get like a temporary ban. And like we can see, apparently American Patriots is now, I guess that's bannable. I mean, what if I tweeted something about American Patriots? I don't know. Kind of crazy. It doesn't make sense to me. But as we can see, the rest of the tech platforms are also jumping right on this. If we go here on an article on Axios, we can see Reddit's been banning a Donald Trump group. Twitch has banned Trump's channel. Shopify has took down any stores affiliated with Trump. And you can see this is now going out into supporters of Trump. These are not all Donald Trump himself, but maybe people that support him, people that I know several Facebook groups that were Trump supporting Facebook groups have been taken down. So where does this leave us as conservatives? Well, they attacked Trump. They're now attacking us. We are not even allowed to be associated with him, or we will get banned. And we've seen this. Twitter obviously banned him. Google, YouTube has been cutting down on what you're posting. And this is even a video that is probably going to get the little text at the bottom talking about the election in any way. Facebook banning groups, Instagram banned his account, Snapchat, TikTok. I mean, basically any of these groups, any of these social media sites has been, and they all did it at like the same time. That's what's crazy. This is obviously something they've been planning. And now we have to be careful as conservatives because we can get banned off these places. So what a lot of people are doing, and myself included here, is moving to other social media sites that are kind of more open, allowing free speech, like, the First Amendment, like we're supposed to have in this country, free speech, and Parler. And look at this, bam, Parler app booted off Google Store. Apple also threatens to ban after Trump violence, pro-Trump violence. Parler, they probably assumed Trump would be going to Parler. Here's the thing. Trump does not even have a Parler account, but you can see that Google and Apple are both trying to get rid of Parler. Now, they're saying that Parler can't just allow any kind of speech. And the funny thing is here is they ban Trump, right? Because they say that Trump is inciting violence, and now they're banning Parler because they're saying Parler's allowing people to incite violence, which is not true. Parler actually has very strict guidelines on stuff like that. You cannot incite violence of any kind on Parler. And honestly, they'd probably be quicker to ban somebody for inciting violence than even Twitter would be. We know Twitter's guidelines are just, not really, they're not real. They're just whatever pushes their leftist agenda. But Parler, they're committed to having an open platform for anybody. It's not for conservatives necessarily. It's for anybody that just wants to talk, but they have a very strong stance against violence. So the fact that Google and Apple are, trying to get Parler removed, one, it just shows that they have no idea even what Parler is about. And two, it shows they're just really trying to silence conservatives even more, because this is where probably most conservatives are going to be going as they get banned off of Facebook and Twitter and stuff like that. So where does this leave us? Well, we've got to try to do what we can to support these other platforms that we will not be banned on, these ones that are going to be supporting the First Amendment, that want free speech. And, we don't want echo chambers. We don't want to only hear. And even if I talk to most conservatives, they're always willing to hear the other side. But the problem is the other side does not do that for conservatives. I mean, just look at it. They've banned Trump for no reason, literally no reason at all. And they're banning tons of other Trump supporters and Republicans alike just because of their conservative beliefs. It's no question that this is stepping way outside the bounds of the First Amendment. Free speech is something that we are supposed to have in this country. We're supposed to have a dialogue. And if we can't do that, if we can't come together as people and talk about problems, we're not always going to agree. But we have to be able to talk and have a civil discussion so that we can, improve as a society. And without that, I don't know. I don't know what we have. So what does the future hold for us? It's going to be hard to say. But right now, for being a conservative, it seems like we're going to be silenced all over. So follow me on Parler. Join Parler yourself. Check out these other social media sites like Minds that are going to be supporting the First Amendment and that hopefully are kind of beyond the big tech censorship. Thanks so much for watching this. Please hit that subscribe button if you enjoyed the video and like it so we can get the word out there. Thanks so much. Catch you in the next one.